Kyra from KyraWilliamsFitness.com, and today we are going to talk about trying not to eat during the day and then binging at night. And this is something that's very common for women who want to lose fat, myself included. This is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. As a nutritional therapy practitioner, as a fat loss coach, as a personal trainer, one of the things that is of utmost importance to me is helping women with their relationship with food, because mine has not always been fantastic. And I still, to this day, have to keep myself in check and just constantly have that self-talk with myself to ensure that my relationship with food is a positive one, because I get it. I want to be as lean as possible. I love seeing my visible abs. I love being ripped. I love getting the compliments. I love fitting into adorable outfits. I love feeling small. I get it. But under eating does not serve you on so many levels. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. So you try not to eat during the day, or maybe you track and you want to try and keep your calories really low. But then what happens at night? You binge. You just can't do it anymore. You're relying on your willpower to get you through your days of just under eating and restricting and not giving your body fuel. You're probably tired. You're probably stressed out. You're probably having cravings. You're probably dealing with food noise all day. I mean, I know this. I know this firsthand because I have been there. I remember, I used to follow these meal plans that I would find in magazines, and it was basically allowing me to eat about 1,000 calories or so between breakfast, snacks, lunch, and then by the time I got to dinner, it was probably about 400 calories that I had allotted to dinner, but that's 1,400 calories, y'all. I know based on the calculations that I've done and doing body fat testing, I know that I burn over 2,400 calories a day. So I was in 1,000 calorie a day deficit. So then what would happen is I would come home after only eating like 900, 1,000 calories in a day, and I would be so famished that I would literally just eat half a container of peanut butter because I was absolutely starving. And that, truthfully, I've talked to so many women who do this, and I'm like, girlfriend, that's basically what's keeping you alive. Those binges are what's keeping you going. That's what's giving you the calories. Now, here's the problem. There's many problems with that because it ruins your relationship with food. But now you're binging on probably not the greatest thing. I mean, peanut butter is not bad, but it's not giving me the micronutrients that I need for my body to function at its highest level. If you are getting half of your calories from one food, then it's got some protein, it's got fat. But where am I getting my vitamin C from? Where am I getting my B vitamins from? Where am I getting my zinc from? If half of my calories are coming from peanut butter, you see what I'm saying? So if you're coming home and you're binging on food that is deplete of nutrients, then you're missing out on so many great things that your body needs and will use to thrive. So, not only is it bad in the sense that now you're creating this binge, then restrict, you binge and you feel guilty and then you try and restrict again. And now you're straining your relationship with food and your body and yourself because you're like, why am I so weak? Why can't I keep doing this? You're beating yourself up over it. You are now not getting an adequate amount of nutrients for your body, even if you do binge, and you are putting your metabolism at risk for damage. So what happens if you are able to will your way through it and undereat? Or you can eventually, you get to a point where you lose those hunger signals. So we have these hormones, they're called leptin and ghrelin. And leptin it's the brain telling the stomach, like, hey, I'm hungry. Hunger signals happen. And then, I'm sorry, that's ghrelin. Ghrelin is created by the stomach, and it says to the brain, like, hey, I'm hungry, please eat. So think of ghrelin, like, I always think of it, ghrelin, like growling. And then leptin is the signal that comes from your brain that says, hey, we're done eating, please stop. And so if we just ignore these hormones, because it's a gut-brain connection, and so the brain is highly involved in this. And if we constantly tell ourselves, like, hush, don't bother me, then eventually those hormones kind of shut down, and we lose sensitivity to them. And then it's easier to will our way through not eating an adequate amount of food. And then what will happen is the body goes, okay, well, I see here you're only going to be giving me 1,300 calories a day. I've got to figure out a way to keep myself alive. So it's going to shut down like some of our higher level functions, and then, slowly functions will operate at a lower and lower activity. So, that's when we start getting into things like maybe our lymphatic system isn't operating properly, our digestive system isn't operating properly, and it takes foods a long time to empty through our body. Our immune system starts to not function properly, and we're more likely to get sick. Our cardiovascular system can not function properly. And that's like serious disordered eating. That's how, people do end up hospitalized. Things shut down. And, not to say that it's going to end up at this level, but that is how the metabolism works. Things slowly shut down. So in order to keep the body alive. And so now here we are in this position where, maybe we're getting sick, or like I said, that the stomach isn't emptying as quickly. And so maybe you feel fuller longer, and that is, what you think you want. But when it comes time to actually eat again, now your stomach isn't emptying as quickly, and you're going to have digestive struggles, bloat, constipation, things like that. And so what we have to do is we have to slowly show the body how to handle more calories again. So we've got a metabolism that has slowed, and with the metabolism that's slowed, fat loss is not going to happen. Like, that's because the body is sitting here going, hey, I'm not getting an adequate amount of food. I need to store everything that I can possibly store. And the nervous system comes in, and the nervous system is like, yeah, we're gonna kick on overdrive. The body is not safe. I'm going to start producing more cortisol. Now you're getting cortisol dysregulation, and all those stress hormones start to build up over time. And the body is it's not going to let go of fat. And so, I'm working with a woman right now who has been eating 1,500 calories or fewer every day for, I'm guessing that she's probably been doing this for several years. And she's burning probably, I think, around 2,300 calories a day based on our calculations. And so now she's in an 800 calorie deficit. Well, her goal is to lean out and see a little bit more visible muscle. And she's working out, she's lifting weights, but she's not getting the results that she wants. And so, if the body is in, absolute protection mode, then building muscle is not, it's not going to prioritize that on any level. And not only that, but we need fuel. Like, if the muscle's got to come from somewhere, so you have to fuel the body. So we have to slowly show the body that it's safe. And we do that by nourishing it, by giving it lots of high quality calories. But we also have to do it very slowly because, again, our digestion and our metabolism is likely slowed down. And so we have to do this in a very gradual way and show the body that, like, A, it's safe, B, we're not going to like bum rush it with a ton of food, and allow it to slowly come back online and do its thing. So when you try and eat less and you're not losing fat, you might not allow your body to feel hunger signals till nighttime. You might binge, you might not binge. All of these things are sending your body into a place where fat loss is not going to be possible. What I did for myself, I changed what my goals were. And that wasn't like, oh, I need to change what my goals were. I didn't do it consciously. Thankfully, I did it in a natural way. I switched from being interested in bikini competitions and being as tiny as possible, and caring about, when I was doing bikini competitions, I got down to, in the teens, like 117 pounds maybe. And to put things in perspective, I think I probably weigh about 130 on a typical day now. That's where my body really likes to be. And I don't feel restricted, and I know that I'm eating an adequate amount of food. But I switched gears, and I was like, became fascinated. I just wanted to like build as much muscle as possible. And I started competing in CrossFit, and both of those things meant that I had to fuel my body properly. So for those of you guys who are thinking about this and you know that you need to make the conscious switch, then set some new goals for yourself. Maybe like try and get like bigger glutes, or maybe you want to deadlift, like a PR on your deadlift. Just think about what your body can do more of, rather than thinking about what you want your body to be less of. Because yes, ultimately you can still have that goal of being lean and being shredded, but we have to give the body other things. So the less fixated you can be on being tiny, and the more you can open up your goals and your sights to doing more, then it's going to be kind of easier to wrap your head around these things. We want to make sure that you are nourishing your body. So, if you are only eating 1,200 calories a day, but then you're binging with another 600 later at night, then you're getting 1,800 calories. But let's maybe do that in a way that is a little bit more balanced and allows you to get more micronutrients and more balanced macronutrients as well. That right there is definitely going to help you lose fat, period. Just because you're eating in a more balanced way, this is going to help balance your blood sugar, and it's going to help improve your digestion. Let's talk about cravings too, because we haven't even touched on that. I mean, if you are under eating all day long, you're probably, thinking about like, I scroll Instagram and like, oh, there's this donut shop that's having like a special, or, Thanksgiving meals, come get our family Thanksgiving feast. And like, you see all these things and you're like, oh, that sounds so good. Like, I want all these things. That like, I remember when I was doing bikini shows and I had to restrict for that. I remember watching a Taco Bell commercial and being like, oh man, that looks good. Like, no, to me, Taco Bell is absolutely disgusting. But I wanted it because I was that underfed. And so that's one of those really big signs when you're sitting there and you have so much food noise, you can't focus. That's a huge sign that your body is like begging you for something. It's begging you for more. If you're getting like crazy sweet cravings, you're getting crazy salt cravings, you're getting lightheaded in between meals, all of these are just signs, and it's not just a willpower situation. Like, this is your biology. This is your body. begging. So when we do reverse diet, we want to do things really, really slowly. Depending on how many calories my client will burn in a day and depending on where they're at right now, I generally increase calories between about 50 to 100 calories every day. And not like, if we're not going to go from like 1500 to 1550 to 1600 to 1650 like every day. We'll do about 50 to 100 calories and we'll hang out. So we would go from 15 to 1550 or 1600 and balance out those macronutrients and making sure that we're getting all of our foods from really high quality sources, like not processed foods. Single ingredient foods are always going to be best. And then hanging out at that increase, whether it's 1550, 1600, hanging out at that increase for somewhere around 1 to 2, maybe 3 weeks. It just really depends on how long it takes for the metabolism and the digestion to come around. Because if the person goes from 1500 to 1600 and they do that every day for 10 days, and they come back to me and say, like, I'm not bloated, I'm actually starting to feel hungry before my next meal, then I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna bump you again. But if the person jumps from 1500 to 1600 and after, a week, they're saying, I feel stuffed all of the time, I cannot fathom eating anymore, I'm bloated, I just feel puffy everywhere, then we're not gonna increase yet because the metabolism still is not ready for that, and the digestive system is not ready for that. We can get down to a point where if this continues to happen, the under eating happens for so long, and our cortisol levels are just skyrocketing through our body, and we're living on elevated cortisol to get ourselves through because the body is stressed out and it doesn't feel safe. Then those cortisol levels can wreak havoc in the brain and end up slowing down our thyroid. And now we're dealing with hypothyroidism. So we don't want to let it get to that point, because then it is even harder to get things back to functioning at a high level again. So I've witnessed this with my clients, and then we have to go in and we've got to support the thyroid. So not only are we supporting digestion and metabolism, but now we're looking at autoimmune conditions. I mean, truthfully, women, it's becoming more and more prevalent because there's so much stress, and under eating is a stressor on the body, period, point blank. So if this sounds like you, if you are dealing with this struggle and you need help, you don't want to go this alone, I got you. Send me a message, KyraWilliamsFitness.com. You can contact me on my website. You can send me a DM. You can send me an email, KyraWilliamsFitness.com. Reach out to me. And if not me, somebody. You don't have to do this by yourself. There are ways that you can get back to where you want to be. Yes, you are still capable of losing fat. Yes, you are capable of feeling better and not struggling with this food noise all the time. And you can heal your body. It is possible. And if you need help doing that, please reach out to me and let's chat. There is nothing to be ashamed of. I've been there. Thankfully, I was able to pull myself out of it before I got too deep. And I'm here to tell you that now, being on the other side, I'm really happy here, and I want to help you cross that line too. So thanks for watching. And if you find this helpful, please share it with your people. It would mean a ton to me to be able to serve not only you, but serve your loved ones as well. So thanks for watching and listening.